Welcome back to Dicing with Death, everyone. So,
did you hear that? It sounded like a.
So, this bird is swooping towards you. Roll me an initiative roll.
Roll to hide. RD10 plus 3 minus 1 because I'm pretty slick. 4. So when I realize the rock is heading for me, I reach for my crossbow, but I think I dive into like a shadow cast by the flames and attempt to hide.
Okay.
Hide in shadows is 20%, if that matters. But the creature may be looking right at me. Or maybe it's distracted by the flame.
So are you trying to hide in shadows in a place where you can still see it, or try to like hide in shadows in a just try? Are you trying to maintain a view of it?
That would be ideal, but I don't know. If I can't do that. Is the ledge that I'm on?
The ledge that you're on is 4 feet deep, maybe 10 feet long.
So there's not a whole lot of place to go.
There's not a whole lot of place to go, but there are lots of like boulders and rocks and things around. So there are like crevices that you could tuck yourself inside of. There's not really any shadows to hide in.
Yeah, so I think I dive into a crevice. Well, there's a fire flickering, so I can play with the light. Like hide in shadows is kind of a weird supernaturally thing in 2nd edition.
Kind of, yeah. Okay, so
I dive into a crevice, and I'll poke my head up next round or whatever if I can't see the creature.
Okay. The large squawking comes as you feel this burst of wind and a shadow wash over the whole ledge. These rocks' talons come in and scrape at the fire, sending it just flying into different places. I guess the rock would take like D3 damage from the flames. It takes 2 points of damage. I think it cares strongly.
Mission accomplished. I brought the fire. Take that, rock.
Yes. The rock is terrified of the flames. There's loud screechings as the rock cries, and you notice one of its talons clasps onto a large rock. Another grabs the ledge, and its wings beat to hold it in place. And we go into initiative next round. Roll for it.
Oh, I've got a dastardly plan. Oh, God. All right. YOLO. All right. What is 7, I guess, but we may need to modify this. 11. So what I'm doing, I'm taking that crossbow that I had loaded, reaching into my bag, taking one of those doses of nightshade poison, or rather as many as I can. I mean, if I can slam 3 doses on the tip of my bolt, I'll do that.
You can only do 1 dose at a time.
Sure. All right. So I'll slather the tip of my bolt with this, and if I can, that same round, pop up from behind the crevice that I'm in and take a shot.
What's the poison that we used?
It's type G. I think it's a delayed onset. I think it's contact, but injection will work as
ingested.
Well. Yeah. Okay, it's ingested. Yeah. Oh. And maybe I should poison an elephant or something for this rock to eat. So I think it's half as effective.
Yeah, I don't know if it's half damage or bonus to save. I think it's half.
Am I allowed to look up what this type G does, or?
Yes, you have a toxins proficiency.
Yeah.
resulting in the save damage being applied if the saving throw is failed, and no damage occurring if the saving throw is successful.
So I guess I need to feed it to this thing.
Yeah, so if you inject it, it would do 10 points of damage.
Poison. I may prep this and have second thoughts before I roll that attack roll. Because there's probably no chance that this is going to do any damage. It's, poison. Do I need to get my DMG? Where are these? Is there not a list of poisons on?
Regal Goblins has it on the
really?
DM screen of Regal Goblins at the very bottom on the left. Regal Goblins has everything.
RegalGoblins.com. Do you actually want to plug that? Doesn't it just crash your site?
No, it's fine. RegalGoblins.com/dmscreen.html. I'll post it.
10 points of damage, not even worth it.
Yeah.
I guess I probably start rummaging through my bag, like realize that the only poison I have is pretty shitty, and probably don't bother taking the shot. But I think I do poke up from the rock, poke up from behind the ROCK.
Okay.
To look upon the ROC, realize that it is absolutely hopeless to try and take this creature down, and
it's
back.
It's gargantuan. Literally, it's size G. It shrieks and claws at the earth and the cliff face before you, but you are tucked away in a spot that it can't get. It brings its beak down to bear and just starts pecking at the ground before you. You notice the earth gets torn up, even bits of rock are chipping off as this creature screeches and caws. Your ears ring with its cries.
Yeah. I just retreat back into the crevice and wait for it to pass. Does this crevice feel safe, or do I need to try and get somewhere else?
It hasn't got you yet, but you do not feel safe.
Is there a back entrance, or can I climb up and out?
You might be able to time its pecs and go out and forward, but think of like you've got the sheer cliff at the back of this ledge, and you've got this awkward boulder. It's not like a spherical boulder, it's this big lumpy thing that has fallen down and is stuck against here. So you've got a spot that's like a 1.5 feet tall and maybe 3 feet deep and like 1.5 feet wide that you've tried like kind of curled up in almost like a snake, as this rock is like trying to peck at you and it can't quite get to you. But you're more or less trapped unless you want to try and go out and avoid.
Unless there's a back entrance, like out the back side of. I think I'll stay here another minute or two and see if it gets fed up and leaves me alone.
All right. It's a few minutes later. It's still pecking at you, still shrieking and clawing. The fire has long since gone out, and all the wood has been dashed to pieces. There was a small tree that was on this ledge that you'd been using for firewood, and that's been ripped out entirely and knocked down the side of the mountain.
If it doesn't seem like it's going to be able to move this boulder, I think this is probably my safest bet. So I'm going to try and hide, go as quiet as I can, and just cower beneath the boulder.
You cower away from the rock, and 10 minutes later, it eventually loses interest or gets frustrated, and it disappears, leaving you cowering in this little hole until you can crawl out and look around. You see the rock takes off, gains a bunch of altitude as it circles around, and then comes back and
I'm gonna
lands
run
on
while
the
it's
peak.
flying. Okay, I was gonna move positions.
Sure, you can switch positions while it's doing that.
But it sounds like it's not coming back.
No.
It sounded like it might have been circling around, and so I was like, "Shit, get out while I can."
No, it just circled up to the top and went back to its nest or its lair or whatever it has at the top of the mountain. So there you are. It's late now. It's pretty late.
No fire. I find another crevice to crawl into, pull my robes tight around me, and try and get some rest.
Yeah. There's another crevice that isn't quite as tight and uncomfortable, but it lets a bunch more wind through. You spend a fairly restless night up on the mountainside. You know, sometimes you're too cold in this spot where the wind blows, so you get back into your little tight snake hole, only to be really uncomfortable in there, and you find yourself just mostly awake throughout the night. You get maybe 3 hours of sleep. But eventually, the night passes. You wake up. The sun is approaching from over the east. You can see Clydesdale out on the plains before you. You think you could even see Redport way off into the distance. You're pretty sure you can see Redport, but you know you have some lingering doubts.
Right. In the morning, I had cast Orison, so I've got an empty spell slot. I will memorize locate animals or plants.
Okay. You get those spells. What were the other ones that you wanted?
I didn't cast anything else. I have Cure Light Wounds, Command, and Call Upon Faith.
Okay.
In my brain box.
Cure Light Wounds, Command, Call Upon Faith, Locate Plants or Animals.
Yeah.
You get 4 spells?
Yep.
Oh, it's a high wisdom, right? A high willpower?
Yeah, level 2 with 15 willpower. So 4 first level spell slots.
Okay. What would you like to do this morning?
Continue climbing the... Continue climbing the mountainside.
Cool.
Keeping a vigilant eye for the rock. God, this locate animals actually may not be all that useful. Takes a round to cast. It will only last 2 rounds, and the range is only 140 yards. Wait, AoE. 20 yards.
What does the AoE mean?
I guess it's a path that's
Oh, I see.
40 yards by 140 yards or something like that.
So it's 20 feet wide, and then it's 40 feet long?
Yeah.
Or 20 yards per level long, so 40 yards long? Then what's the range?
The range is how long the path is. So it's like Detect Magic, where you've got basically where you're looking.
The length of the path is 20 yards plus 100 yards plus 20 yards per level. The width is 20 yards per level times 20 feet? How do those units make sense?
I don't think the specifics matter. It sounds like it's 20 yards per level. Maybe it's 20 feet high.
Oh, maybe. I don't know. Anyway.
Close enough for... And I'll probably use it to scan for rocks before invading the nest if it comes up.
You continue to climb. Give me another strength, dex, and con check today.
And let me know if I ever need to do an actual climbing check, because I'll probably remove my armor.
Okay.
Strength. Ooh, 19.
Nope. Dex.
30.
You need to pass this one. Con?
No! Do I get tired or something? Very tired? I'm
No.
starving?
You are
Is it con failure?
climbing along. You're tired, you're weak. You didn't sleep last night, you didn't have a fire, it was cold on this mountainside and windy. You find yourself kind of just like exhausted. And as you're just trudging along, barely able to stay afoot, like kind of leaning across this thing here, climbing across this thing here, you kick down, you manage to dislodge a rock. And as that rock dislodges, it kind of bounces to the next rock below it, a much larger one. That rock below it shifts, and then tumbles, and the entire hillside that you're on begins to turn to liquid. Give me a saving throw versus death to avoid the rock slide.
Okay. I suppose I had enough time to call upon faith before rolling this.
What's the casting time of Call Upon Faith?
I think 1. Let me check though. But I still need like.
You know what? You can decide if you want to do that or not. I will not tell you how it will affect things, but you can decide if you want to cast a spell first or if you just want to dive out of the way. What are you gonna do?
Sure, casting time 1. Yeah, I utter a prayer to. Holy shit, Rossi! It is not my time yet. Take hold of my thread of life. So I take a initiative 1 action to cast that spell
Right.
as I'm
Okay.
diving out of the way or scrambling up the cliff face or whatever. Do I plummet to my death and not even get a save?
No, roll me your initiative, and that will be your penalty to your saving throw, but then you get the +3, so in theory you could get a bonus off of this.
D10 or D10 plus 1?
D10 +1, -1 for dex. No, you don't get a -1 for dex, it's a spell.
So I'm getting it at -7 instead of at a +3?
Well, the rocks slip, you cast a spell. I'm saying that the time it takes to cast a spell is more detrimental than the bonus that you gained by it.
Well,
Natural
I
fucking 20,
passed.
doesn't matter.
But a waste of a spell.
Yeah. The rocks slip out from underneath your feet. You chant to the goddess, lose your footing, immediately tumble, but grab hold on this like root that comes out from the side and use it just like swing out of the path of the rock slide.
Verossi doesn't answer my prayers, but Jexel's like, I got you, bro. Natural 20.
How do you know that Verossi isn't working mysteriously through you? Have you seen the new DM overlay for Roll20? There's a have the player roll a 20 button. That
Are you
can
serious?
Just put, no, I'm not serious.
Okay.
But it'd be awesome if there was. If you could rig the player's next rolls to do certain things. Hey, Roll20. That'd be a great thing to have. You could really do some fun things if you could rig the player's next rolls. Like, you could roll for them in secret, and then have them roll the rolls and just set the rolls up ahead of time. There's cool shit you could do.
No one would ever trust their DM again. Alright.
No one should ever trust their DM. Well, everyone should trust their DM. You shouldn't need Roll20 to trust your DM.
So, I cause a landslide and don't die.
You don't die. The rocks tumble to the ground. You swing out of the way on this rut. And you hear cries from above as you dangle dangerously.
I start climbing up the face of the mountain, or is there a ledge I can get to?
Yeah, you can get back to where you were and just climb back up the face of the mountain.
Okay.
You are exhausted, but you can still make it up. How do you just want to climb to the very apex, and we'll just jump till when you get there?
Sure. Yeah. I mean, that's where I'm heading. I'm trying to find the rock's nest, unless I see something else before I get there.
Okay. Okay. You climb and climb and climb until you find yourself reaching the top of the mountain. The top of the mountain is a little less impressive of a spot than you had hoped for, but you have an impressive view of the entire world. The top of this mountain is just kind of loose, crumbly rock that kind of just forms this weird, hilly, sidey thingy. There's not really a lot of dirt up here. It's pretty much just crumbly rock. There's no vegetation. It's quite chilly. The wind whips at your ankles. Your fur is laid slick against your face by it. You feel for a moment like the king of the world as you can see everything before you. Everything is below you. There's nothing above you at all. But the wind is chilling your balls, and it's an impressive moment.
I take it all in, survey everything that will one day be Verossi's. I've probably never seen west of these hills. Is there anything of note? I guess this map sort of ends, but
This map does end. Let me bring up the map that doesn't end. Where's the map that doesn't end? Here we go. West of these hills is a great plain.
wow. And I thought my plane was great.
Mm-hmm. This is just a great and endless plain to the west. You can catch sight of a forest to the south, to the southwest a little bit, but that's pretty much it. Yeah. Could you see 50 miles if you're at 4,000 feet?
I think so. Distance to the horizon is usually only a couple miles, but if you're on a mountain, like if it's a clear day, you could see
Sure.
you can see a forest. 50
You
miles
can't see
away.
the town there, but you can see that far.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, and then I bring my eyes closer to home and start looking for a nest.
Oh, I was supposed to show the map. I forgot to show the map. You start looking down for a nest. You don't see any obvious nest below you, at least nothing out in the open.
Well, let's give it a shot.
Hey everybody, welcome back. Sorry about all of the laggy issues. Strangely enough, the internet is less stable in San Francisco than it is in Vietnam. But hopefully that is done because it looks good now. I don't know if it keeps crapping out. We'll deal with that when we get there. But we're just going to keep trudging along.
All
So,
right.
Silac,
So,
you're on
I
top of the
spend
mountain.
I spend a round praying to Verasi to grant me sight beyond sight. I produce my decaying hobgoblin hand, which probably turns into a bit of like a divining rod and like maybe points in a direction, or maybe it can't find the direction and doesn't point me the way.
You
And I
can
attempt to
see
locate a rock.
100 yards plus 20 yards. So 140 yards is 420 feet. And you have
Yeah.
2 rounds to detect this, right?
Yes. So I guess, so I can't do a 360 in one round. For some reason, I can only rotate it.
You can only do a 20
around.
foot wide path.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't get where the 20 feet comes from.
I think maybe the description in the Real Goblin spell list is wrong. That's a possibility.
I can pull. I've got PHP right here. Locate animals or plants. Area of effect 20 yards per level times 20 by 20 feet.
I don't even know what that means.
The description on Regal Goblins is the same. It's
Okay.
just as confusing in the book. During each round, the character can face only one direction, i.e., only a 20-foot wide path can be known. But it says the AoE is 20 yards per level by 20 feet.
Yeah. It's pretty awkward.
I think it's not like we're in a grid at the moment, so use your discretion. I probably face north and then face south.
Okay. Roll me 2d8 then.
2d8.
Yes, sir.
14.
Okay.
Should I have rolled that for HP?
Yeah, it would have been nice. Well, you also have to factor in the thief HP, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So you search and feel out with your mind's eye for rocks, and you feel nothing to the north and nothing to the south.
All right. Well, I put my crawling claw back in my pocket and start trudging back down the slopes once I've gotten enough of this glorious view.
Okay. Which way do you trudge down?
Let's try the east slopes, and then I'll probably just sort of circle a little bit and then head west. So the directions that I didn't get a look at with my mind's eye, I'm going to wander down, I'll climb down a little bit to the east, climb down a little bit to the west, look around for a nest.
So you're climbing down
starting down the eastern slopes.
Okay, you head down the eastern slopes.
Go down a couple hundred yards and then sort of loop around and check out the west.
Okay. This is also a treacherous path, just kind of trying to circle around. There's lots of moments where you're climbing and holding and like shifting from side to side. In fact, I need you to make me. You're getting to the point where you need to do some real rock climbing. So give me some climbing checks.
Can I ditch my armor?
You can, but you're gonna have to ditch it and like leave it behind. You don't have a way to strap it to you.
I can't put it in my bag. It's too bulky.
Yeah.
Never mind. 10% isn't worth it. So my climbing is 60. Do you want to look up modifiers for the surface we're dealing with, or should I roll D100? Are climbing modifiers on Regal Goblin? I don't think they are.
No. They're not.
I can just roll a climbing check and we'll see if I need it.
Please do.
13. So this first one is, I nailed it.
Okay.
I could probably climb up a greased granite face with that.
You're not below half HP, are you?
I'm at full.
Okay. And you're wearing
leather. I've already included that in my 60%.
Okay. So you climb around. I would actually think abundant handholds. Maybe not quite. I was going to give you a 20% bonus. So
yeah.
You scurry around this cliff face, coming to the south side. Did you want to go south first or north first?
Neither. East.
Yeah, but once you get down to the east and 100 yards, you wanted to go around.
Around the south.
Okay.
And then
you
check out the western slopes.
Scuttle around the south side, and once you get just to the west side of south, like south by southwest, you hear this chittering of creatures. It sounds like baby birds wanting to be fed, except the baby birds sound like they have a megaphone attached to them. It's or whatever noises baby birds make. Beep, 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 beep.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
I start moving silently. Am I still climbing, or is this like leveled out a bit?
It's leveled out a little bit.
Okay. So I'll start moving silently.
What's your move silently chance?
55.
Okay. You are moving silently as far as you're concerned.
So I tiptoe towards the sound, hoping that Mama's out. I'll take a moment to look around.
It actually sounds like it's coming from above you.
Okay. Then maybe I don't move silently. Maybe I climb. But I'm going to pause for a second and look around to see if I can see Mama.
Give me a perception check.
No sign of Mama.
Oh shit. Serious
lag. You there?
Yeah, I'm here. I'm here.
Still intact?
Stream was not intact for a moment, but it is intact now. God, this is getting really bad. But we're still here, I think. You do not see any sign of the mother around.
All right. So I walk up to the sound of the chirping, or climb if that's what I have to do.
It would be a climb.
All right. No. I go plummeting or something. Or I started on a ledge, right? So I just can't.
Yeah, this section before you is kind of like an outcropping. It goes, if you're climbing up this way, you actually have to like climb up and out, and you just you can't do it. You're too exhausted. You're too cold. You're too weary. You're out of shape from climbing. You've got like a little bit of a beer belly going on. It's just not working.
I haven't eaten in like 2 days, like a day. How am I?
Well, the beer belly doesn't go away after a day or two.
Yeah. All right. So I take a moment here to catch my breath beneath this ledge. And then I'm going to try and find another route. So I'll probably circle around and try and find a gentle path up and take 15 minutes circling and then come down from the top.
Sure.
Try to avoid a climb.
Okay. You end up heading back the way that you came because you know that route fairly well.
Okay. And then I know where all the handholds were. So I backtrack. Right. I climb the face that I've already mastered. And
you go back up to the top and start climbing back down directly in this direction. And that proves much easier. You come to... when you were up on the mountain, you kind of saw this area, but it just looked like a ledge. Now, as you're just above it looking down, it's not a ledge. It's actually kind of like a pit almost in the mountain. Like the mountainside is coming down here, but then it kind of drops down. And there's like a little... kind of like a cave entrance, except it's like in the ground and then over to the side. So you'd have to climb down this opening that's maybe 30... I guess that's not 30 feet across. I guess that's like 20 feet across, 25 feet by 15 feet.
I walk over to the edge and take a peek down in it.
You're standing on a very large boulder peering down into this area below you. And you can see the cracked wood of what looks to be like branches down below you, tucked inside this little cave area.
I'm sneaking, moving silently, by the way. Yeah, so I creep over to the ledge and take a peek over. It looks like a giant nest, it sounds like. Just a shamble of branches.
Yeah, you can't quite get a view of it. It's still 10 feet down, 15 feet down.
And tucked in a cave? Like what?
Yeah, so it's down and over into the mountain. Here, let's draw on the map. So here's the mountain. Something like that. Can that be seen? Yeah. So if this is the mountain top, and Silac was down here, but you couldn't get up, so instead you went around, up. Now you're coming back down.
Okay.
Yeah, that's pretty crude, but that's what it looks like.
I need some rope.
This is only like a 10-foot drop.
Yeah.
15-foot drop.
All right, so I'm going to listen for a moment. Tech noise is 15, but... So I'm trying to see if I can hear Mama Bird down there. I imagine she probably hardly fit, so she probably just lands on the ledge. Yeah, I'm going to assume she's out hunting during the day. And continuing to sneak, I'm going to climb down into this cavern.
The squawks, the eeps change to squawks as you see 3 almost featherless chicks. They've gotten a few feathers here and there, but they're ugly as fuck.
How
in
big
this
are they?
rather large nest. They're, 6 feet tall. They're like man-sized. They're like ostriches or emus. And they're in this big kind of woven basket nest.
Looks like it was woven.
I mean, not really woven, but like a bird's nest woven.
Twined.
Yeah.
All right.
Give me a perception check.
Yeah.
Is that a 23? You notice something else. Intertwined amongst the branches, which at first almost looked like just some bleached branches, you see large bones, giant-sized bones.
How far away are they from the nest?
They're like woven into the nest along with twigs and branches.
All right. I draw a dagger in case I need it, and sort of like circle in closer to the nest.
Okay.
I'm gonna try. I mean, I will. The bird. I'm trying to move. I'm gonna try to move silently and hide as much as possible.
I mean, the chicks have spotted you.
Okay. How aggressive do they seem? Like, are they
They seem
coming
pretty
closer?
terrified.
Okay. So I'll stay facing them and sort of scowl at them and circle into the nest and working quickly. If they notice me, I guess I stop moving silently.
They climb out of the nest and back up to get away from you.
Okay. So I start rifling through the giant bones and through the
Okay.
nest and searching.
You pull branches apart, you move bones away around until you find somewhere near the bottom of the nest this ungodly large horn. And Horn of Stone is a very apt title because it appears to be made out of some sort of like fossilized rhino horn or something. But it's still like a horn. There's a hole all the way through it, so you could blow it. But it's just this like a rhino horn made out of stone.
How big is it? How much does it weigh?
Must be like 2.5 feet long. It must weigh like 200 pounds,
200?
150. It's heavy. It's big. Maybe it's only 80. Maybe it's freaking your mind out that you're lifting this thing and thinking about it hauling down this mountain. But it's the size of, I don't know, a small human. It's the weight of a small human.
Solid chunk of stone. Yeah, that's not. I'm not getting that out of this nest, am I? I don't have a rope. My max press is 115.
How much does a rhino horn weigh?
Like a couple of pounds. Even
If
like
you were
solid. Yeah.
If you were to turn that to
If it's solid
stone, I mean, it's not solid through. Just the thickness is stone. It's still like hollow inside. Like a. So it probably. I'm looking at rhino horns right now. I would say if that was rock, it would weigh about 60 pounds. It's just awkward and unwieldy.
Mm-hmm.
You can definitely lift it. You could like tuck it under one arm if it was. You can kind of tuck it under one arm. It's just awkward in shape, so it's sliding around.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And your mind goes back, and you remember that you can't really deadlift 200 pounds anyway. But you clearly picked this up, so you know.
I absolutely can deadlift 200 pounds.
What's your strength?
11. My max press is 115, so I can heave 115 pounds overhead. I can probably
All right.
probably deadlift 200 pounds, but D&D doesn't track that.
Right. Okay. So you can pick this up and carry it, but it's heavy.
Mm-hmm.
What do you do?
I'm taking just a minute to contemplate whether I want to try getting it down the mountain or whether to just blow it right here and go tell the giants where it is.
The baby chicks continue to squawk at you, and
Interrupting my concentration. I'm not able to like focus on.
yeah, they're just being, they're frustrating.
Mm-hmm.
They're acting like babies.
Can I find how big is the giant skull? That's probably harder to take, just as hard to take down, isn't it?
Yeah, you eventually find the giant skull after digging around a little bit. It's what, 4 times the size of yours, a little bit more than 4 times the size of yours.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's twice as tall, twice in every dimension, so like 4 times as big.
Yeah. I will find a
8
small
times.
bone that I can take down, like that's recognized, perhaps like a finger bone or something like that.
No, so it would weigh 8 times as much as your head. Because it's
Yeah.
3-dimensional, yeah.
So dried out, that's probably still a couple dozen pounds.
Yeah.
I'll find a small finger bone if that's possible.
Sure. You can find fingers, toes, whatever.
Yeah. And I'm going to get ready to make a quick escape. But first, I approach the horn. And want to take a break now, or should we? Or do you want to wait for 30 seconds?
We can take a break right now if you'd like. That would work great.
Yeah, let's
Let's take a break, and we'll see you guys on the other side of it. Bye-bye, everyone.